here, the American or Indian race found only in America is of a deep copper color. Copper colored tribes of America, you see how they're depicting it? Dark skin, right? Straight black hair, high cheekbones, eyes black and sunken, large faces, and robust bodies. This race comprises all the American Indians except the Eskimo, who belongs to the Asiatic race. Alright, so even though, they kind of generalizing, they do know, the deep copper color. You already know, you put a penny and compare it to your complexion. And I would just add that not all American Indians had straight hair, but yes, many did. We had all kinds of phenotypes here, all types of hair, and many shades of the deep copper color, from the lightest copper to the darkest copper. And also what they have down here, as you guys can see, is a separation of the African and the American. You see, two different type of so-called dark skin or so-called Negro people. Even in this atlas from 1839, it says here the African or Negro race, Dr. Hijack. So now he's not Negro. So what do you mean? You are depicting him as a so-called Negro. Deep copper color, we already know what that means. There is no such thing as a black-skinned Dr. Hijack, deep brown too. So they're saying that only people in Africa had woolly hair and thick lips, and that's not true. We've shown that that was here too in ancient America. But I just found it interesting that, they depicted two different type of dark-skinned people. They're not the same.
Welcome to another episode of Discussions. Today we will be discussing the black race and our history, our true history. Not the history that you look at in social studies or world geography. Our true history. Now, way back in the 1800s, you had the Copper Indians. Why did they call them the Copper Indians or the Indians of America? Because all of us had skin of copper. There's different types of copper. You got light, you got brown, you got red, just like you have today. It's not a coincidence. Okay? Now when Christopher Columbus came over here and they gave all the Indians black pox for the Indians that they didn't kill in war or by disease, they enslaved. They took away they took away their rights, they took away their history, their independence, and they brainwashed the children. So now they're teaching the children that our forefathers are white. But see, what you guys miss to understand is that the Copper Indians owned America back in those days. So really what's going on here is our land was took over. Now they tell you that you're from Africa, but the Africans own their own countries, they run their own governments, but we don't. But the reason they tell you that you're from Africa is so that you don't fight for your own land. See, if you think you're a foreigner, then you have no claim to your own land. You have no fight for your own land. You realize that you have no rights in your own land. You can't even go back to Africa freely. So how is that our land? How many of y'all are related to some Africans? It's probably some, but very few. And if you check the DNA of most black people in southern states, we have Indian in our DNA. Coincidence, right? Nah. It's just a lot of truth hidden. See, you don't have to believe what I'm telling you. Do the research for yourself. But this is our land that was taken from our ancestors. I will be doing a part 2 to this video. God bless.